Need for Speed is one of the most popular racing series of all time. Now, the same crew that brought us the original arcade racing Hall of Famer has merged two incredible experiences into one hot game. Grant has the story.
Need for Speed is one of the most popular racing series of all time, at least in the realm of arcade races. Personally, I prefer the Burnout series more. It just had more explosive action, but with those studios working on one of the most potent petrol-head speed junkie thrills on a console, what could possibly go wrong? Need for Speed Rivals is what happens when you collide Need for Speed Hot Pursuit with Need for Speed Most Wanted into one cohesive game. It blends the open-world focus of Most Wanted with the high-speed octane chases of Hot Pursuit. As is staple for this type of Need for Speed title, you can play as either cops or racers. As cops, you'll be chasing the speed racers with many gadgets like spike strips, EMPs, and helicopters. As a racer, your job is to race your opponents and make sure the police are far from your tail. I like to think of it as a driving version of Cops and Robbers. Although the world is bigger than it's ever been in Rivals, it feels like you can race through the map in no time, going through changes of scenery at an alarming pace. Yes, it looks pretty, but makes this expansive world feel a little smaller than it should be. This, strangely, isn't that big a problem because, like many games, tracks, regardless of whether they're open world or straightforward racing circuits, usually are repetitive, which of course challenges the driver to focus on perfecting the course. It's as if EA are gearing up for the next generation of consoles by improving the engine and the Need for Speed service as a whole. Most notably, they've implemented a system dubbed All Drive, which allows players to jump into your game seamlessly while you're driving in the single-player campaign, alleviating any need for a lobby system that is simply a list of players with rubbish background music and long waiting times. Instead, the lobby is the game, which makes the experience a lot more bearable. Multiplayer is a lot of fun, but only facilitates up to 6 players online, which is rather disappointing. With those 6 players, you can either race against all your mates as racers, chase unruly speedsters as the cops, or a mixture of the two. It's chaotic, exhilarating fun. With a ton of licensed cars, rampant racing, beautiful graphics, a massive open world, a slick multiplayer, and an even slicker 60 frames a second, Rivals is a welcomed addition to the Need for Speed franchise. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for me to burn some digital rubber.